Okay, here's a question. What does it say? So, what is the worst advice anyone has ever given you? And what's the best advice anyone has ever given you? That's a really, really awesome question. Okay, the worst advice anyone ever gave me, I think I was 20 years old at that time, and um, I had just finished conducting a particular conference, and it was successful, and some guy comes over to me, shakes my hand, introduces himself, and says to me, "Don't change. That was the best thing you've ever done. Don't change." At first, it sounded really, really nice, but then you grow up just a little bit and you develop both spirit, mind, and body, and you start understanding that that's the worst advice anyone can ever give you. Essentially, someone telling you not to change is telling you don't progress. Essentially, someone telling you not to change is telling you don't advance. You see, because the most common, usual, and permanent feature in this world is changes. Changes will always precede success. If you don't change, you're either relegated to nothingness. If you don't change, you're either relegated to becoming antiquated. You know what I mean by antiquated, right? Like, what are you? Like, you're like a 1967 Beetle. You know what I mean? Like, you're so old, no one even wants to know your name, even if you were brand new. That's exactly what don't change means. I know one can easily say that, oh, there are other applications for the word don't change. But as you live longer and as you go in the pursuit of your dreams, your goals, you will find out that the worst thing anyone can ever tell you is don't change. Because every single day, progress will necessitate change. And change is good. The other question, the B side of it, what's the best advice? Okay, so here's the thing about the best advice. It's the best advice is often, at the moment where it is most needed. But one comes to mind right now. It was during a period of time in my life when I was going through hell and high water. Have you ever gone through stuff where you actually come out of it and you're like, how did I survive that? But then, at that particular moment, I felt that I should just walk down to a bookstore and get a book. Some people cope in different ways, but at that time I had learned to cope by reading, and I had already read by that time probably more than 900 books. Thanks to books saved my life, and they'll save your life too. Just for an advice. Okay. So when I got down to the bookshop, I started to scroll, and then I got down to the 5th column, and I saw a book by a wonderful author called Ryan Holiday. And the title of the book was "The Obstacle is the Way." And boom, it hit me. I didn't even purchase the book. I screamed right there in the bookstore. I was like, yes, I got my answer. This is it. I've got it. And I just ran right out of the place. And that was the best advice I'd ever gotten in my life at that particular point. You see, because the obstacle literally became the way. I actually found out that when it's your time to be blessed, those bad situations around you are the exact opportunity that you have. The worse things are, the greater the opportunity inside of them. And the obstacle became the way for me. So that's the worst and the best that I've ever gotten. What about you? What's the worst advice you ever got? And what's the best advice you can remember you ever got?